resurfaced video clip, a popular Nigerian pastor, Paul Enenche, has revealed that he married his wife, Dr. Becky Enenche, in spite of her looks at the time he met her. In his words, if sight was leading me, I wouldn't marry my wife. Okay. The Venice State-born 56 years old cleric who heads the Dunamis International Gospel Center made this utterance while ministering on the pulpit to his congregations. He also mentioned that he and his wife told their children this, stating that she just was anyhow and had never cared for nothing at the time they knew each other before marriage. Pastor Paul Enenche attributed this to the fact that she was a medical student. He began, if sight was leading me, I wouldn't marry my wife. I told my children the other day and they were all laughing. And she told them herself. He continued, why? Because at that time, she never cared for anything. She just was anyhow. That is, medical student, didn't care for anything. The hair was plaited matte permanently, or she wore any dress available, shapeless. Dr. Becky Enenche, who was captured sitting in front of the congregation, laughed and corroborated his account, revealing that she wore mostly A-line skirts and jump-up sleeves when they met. Pastor Paul Enenche added that there were flashy people around, very flashy. They were also spiritual and flashy, but God led otherwise. Admonishing his congregation, he said, not everything that looks good in the moment has a future. I'll come to the beautiful lady.
Please. We can start with the beautiful.
I mean, ladies first. Let's open the floor with you. Want to get your thoughts?
I like starting with the ladies first. You know,
you
said the ladies first.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
What do you think of this story, and how does it even make you feel seeing this particular story?
First of all, it's very funny. I'm not even going to lie. It's like very funny. Okay. But then I don't really like the way in which he, said the message. She was like, she was just anyhow. I don't really understand why he would use that phrase in particular, because I find it very misogynistic. Maybe not misogynistic, but
big words are flying around.
Big words are really flying around.
I just find it very why would you say that? Okay, in front of your kids, that's okay, but this is on the altar now. Okay, we have to be careful of the things that we say. But besides that, I think he has a good point. Not everything that is flashy has a future at the end of the day. Yeah. So.
But the way he passed the message was an issue for you.
It was an issue for me.
You'd have loved him to keep it inside. What's meant for.
Maybe use another analogy or something.
Or not say.
Yeah, she wasn't.
She was anyhow.
Okay. Beautiful thoughts. Elise, what have you to say?
Well, first of all, I'm glad I'm not married yet. I'm not sure how my partner would have reacted to such a statement, but they know what works in their marriage. I'd like to believe they know what works in their marriage. But ultimately, just like Ms. Gift said, it's very easy to misinterpret a statement like that. I'm sure his heart was in the right place. He was trying to pass an important message,
which he did.
Which he did pass across. But I feel it's a bit like throwing her under the bus, and the news story is stating that she laughed. I mean, there's a point where you feel so embarrassed that you can't do anything but laugh. So her laughter wasn't everywhere. Exactly. So those churches have a lot of cameras, and so there's a point where, are you passing a message while respecting your partner, or it just seemed a bit like shit. Because that was a lot of the caption that was going around because my cousin saw it on Twitter and then he showed it to me. I was like, oh, look at this, and he was just dying of laughter, and I'm like, damn, that's sad.
Was leading me, I wouldn't have married my wife. Anyway,
My wife was not entering my eyes, basically. What I'm hearing is my wife did not enter my eyes. So I'm like, okay,
Like,
you didn't find that now, like, oh, so you didn't find your wife physically attractive, or
I think
she wasn't.
it's like it's false to a certain degree because I like I said earlier, I don't think any man would marry somebody that he found completely unattractive physically. They are at least.
They, he still married her. They still ended up together. So that means there was something he saw that was
beyond the physical,
appearance and all.
I guess that's why the spirit was leading him.
Exactly, and that was not flesh. Flesh was not leading. Flesh was nowhere to be found. I think flesh left the room at the moment.
In that transaction, flesh was nowhere to be found.
Flesh left the group chat.
Oh my God. This guy should leave me, guys.
Okay, but like, I made me throw the question at you guys since you're like men. Would you marry somebody that you found completely unattractive physically?
Okay, you are not doing this to me right now. But then I think to be honest, yeah, everybody has what they look out for in women. Yes, and most times character is something.
Character.
Yes, but for me, you must find one. At least.
Yeah, it's here, ladies and gentlemen. You must be fine. If you want Eric to look at your direction,
why can't you look inside her?
the spirit is not leading him yet.
Trust me, fine is a whole lot of things for different people. And I said you must be fine. That's like a whole word.
Yeah.
Okay.
You must be fine. And ask me my definition of fine, I'll tell you after now. So anyways,
Right.
answer the question.
This seat is just hot now.
No.
Beauty is subjective, so I get it.
Exactly. Beauty is the subjective thing. Personally, obviously, if you want to look out for someone, the first thing you notice in someone is the appearance.
And do young people look beyond the appearance?
No, that's the first thing. If I personally, okay, are you asking me like on my personal? Okay, obviously, if we're going to speak, there has to be that, like, at least, okay, this person looks nice, this person seems intellectual, this person, and then we approach and talk, and then it's like, once I get to know you and the character is not matching the appearance, like, you know, we'll see now. Like, take care, stay safe, you know, you're gonna be alright. It's not for me though, but you're gonna be alright.
Peace out, baby. I go just straight up.
Exactly.
So like, physical appearance does have a part to play in the whole thing, even though that's like not the major.
Yeah, that's not the major thing to look out for, because obviously, looks will fade. It's like marriage is a lifetime partnership, or at least it's supposed to be. I don't know what's going on with this generation, but marriage is supposed to be a lifetime partnership. You know, so if you're looking out for looks, will eventually fade. I will not always be this handsome. Soon I'll have saggy skin and I might need a walking stick as I'm tall and all that. My back. So if somebody looks out for me, like there's a certain point where a girl approached me that she liked me. I don't know why I'm bringing this up. But
No,
I asked her.
It's cute.
I asked her, okay, what's your reasons now? Like, obviously, I'm a funny guy, so I make you laugh, and that's what's going on. Like, no, you're tall, you're fine. I'm like, okay.
So
but like, you like my plans for my career now. Like, you're fine. I'm like, wait. So the only two, I've asked you this question like 4 times. The only 2 things you can tell me are I'm tall and handsome. I will look good in pictures. That's your priority for marriage. We'll look good in pictures.
Wow.
That means if you eventually have an accident that you lose your leg.
Somebody pours acid on your face.
Please don't pour acid on me.
My face is my money maker, baby.
Okay. So like that, those are horrible.
Yeah, you know, you can't be looking out for the physical. I get that part, but it just seemed like the way it came across, when the message came across, it was like, oh, this Nigerian pastor shades his wife at church service, and that was the narrative. You know, that's the way it came across.
It came out like
and the way he said he gave room for that. There's a way he says some things that people can't misconstrue it. It's just, oh, if I were more focused on other people's flashy appearance, I wouldn't have found my wife. If you say something more like that, it's like, okay, you're showing respect to your wife that she covered herself. She was she was away from the norm, and you found her away from the norm. So it's like, okay, cool. And then because couples normally grow together, if you look at old photos of couples, the glow up happens together. So if he went to his old pictures as well, I'm sure there will be people that would be questioning his looks.
Actually, was he also like this when he got
exactly? Was it this way?
Was
Because women tend to fix you help your life as a man. It's like, okay,
Actually.
wear this, no, this color tie goes better with that. So definitely she consults on his wardrobe. I'm very sure about that. You know, so I feel like they both helped each other. But the way he kept said, it was like, oh, I picked this woman up and I changed her life, and now she's who she is because of my life. That's what it just seemed like. You know? So yeah.
Well,
I wonder what would have been the reaction if she was the one that said something like that. Like, you don't have respect for your husband.
That's most likely the narrative. That's most likely the narrative.
So what if that's not? What if that's not the narrative?
So
like, let's say she says that, and he also laughs as
it's the way she's talking about, like how would Nigerians look at it. The average Nigerian man would look at it like, she's disrespecting her man. And so why doesn't it apply when he's saying something about her? You know, so that's why the story is.
No, I'll ask you a question. If it was your husband that said that,
it can never be my husband.
No, answer the question now.
You will not sleep in that house.
Wow. Man, this is why I tell you have 2 houses. But go on.
Okay, that's the new scope. I get it. I see.
So why wouldn't he sleep? Why wouldn't he just laugh like Dr. Becky did? Like just smile.
Between me and you, we all know that laugh was fake. It's just.
How sure are you?
Accusations.
Like, I feel like, I don't know, you just have to laugh. Because like, if you like.
You forgot to add allegedly.
Add allegedly.
Add allegedly.
Allegedly. Please impute that. Or just cut it out. Well, what I would do, I'd laugh, you know.
In the moment, but he will not sleep at home.
You'll sleep in the house.
What would now happen when you get to the house?
Second house, folks.
I think we'd have, okay, like jokes apart, I think we'd have like a very like, I'm not a serious person.
Said it and laughed. You proved yourself.
Oh my god. But I just, one of like the qualities I've always wanted, like somebody that I would spend the rest of my life with, someone that respects and like is kind to me and my feelings, and I'm a very sensitive person. So I feel like you can say that, but then you can be like very light about it.
When you guys have a conversation.
I don't say it's like in front of everybody. So like when we get home, I think we'll just have a very mature conversation.
Not emotional conversation.
I think
you allow him stay in the house, right?
No, obviously, he's on the road. We'll have the conversation. He'll stay in the house and we'll like have a conversation. The kids won't be there because I don't like.
Okay, don't like arguing in front of the kids.
Issues in front of children.
Right.
Just have it there.
Healthy home. I like that.
But then when you don't see your parents argue, isn't that like a charade of some sort? Because now that's not a balanced home. A balanced home has its ups and downs.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, a balanced home.
I would disagree.
Because
you
now let's take for instance, you don't see your parents argue, and your wife does something that is bad or not good, not permissible. Nobody permits that. How do you settle that issue?
I mean,
or she starts yelling at you. How do you just run, or you just confront the situation and tackle it at the moment?
Personally, I don't like confrontation.
Okay.
Especially if there's confrontation in the world of business. Let me handle confrontation. I shouldn't come and be having confrontations with my partner. And that's why it's important to know who your partner is. Okay. You know, you need to know who you're spending the rest of your life with. You need to know who you're taking that next step with. So for me, it's like, I don't think I would get to a point where I'm with somebody that is loud and obnoxious and does things that are not agreeable and can't apologize, because I will apologize if I'm wrong. Okay. So why shouldn't you be able to apologize? And to your point of it's a bit of a charade, I wouldn't think so.
Okay.
Confrontations are a part of human life. You know, the kids will feel tension. If mommy and daddy are not in their lovey-dovey mood, something is going on here. But to her point is expressing in front of children, taking out that venting, because when you're upset, you say things that in the heat of the moment you don't necessarily mean, but you're just because you're upset. It's human nature. You're saying things because you're in a fit of rage or whatever, and your kids are seeing that. So if you settle issues privately, kids are aware. that there are issues in the house. You can, if your mom and your dad are not on good terms, you will know. Where's your mommy? I don't even know. Don't ask. You can tell when there's like mommy and daddy rifts in the house. You know, so, but why don't bring it in front of the children?
Kids,
it's like you're shielding them, but it's not pulling off a charade. They can tell when things are not okay, but they know that, okay, mommy and daddy will not do this thing in front of us. So now I have then put it in my head that I have kids tomorrow. I'm not going to, if my wife does something, I'm not going to come out and start screaming at her in front of the kids. No, we take ourselves inside, we have the conversation. If there's an amicable solution that we find it immediately, we find it. If it's something that requires us to just take a little breather, let's just give her a little space, everybody calm down, then we'll discuss it like in the morning or something, then that's what we do. You know, so it's not necessarily putting off a charade, it's protecting your kids and showing them what the norm should be, because you shouldn't talk down your partner or be towards your partner in front of your children.
I feel like that's disrespectful to your partner.
Yeah, okay.
And it's giving your kids the wrong ideas for their home, you know.
Yeah.